Happy Friday, everyone. As we continue looking at the word hope in Scripture, we come today to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verses 1 through 12. In the video comments, you'll find a link to Bible Gateway so you can read the Scripture for yourself, but I'll read verse 4 for you now. But whoever is joined with all the living has hope, for a living dog is better than a dead lion. As we look at the word hope in here, I am reminded of the phrase, "it just is." While Proverbs, which we looked at last week, is wisdom literature, Ecclesiastes in many ways is like reverse wisdom literature. Ecclesiastes comes across as having been written by someone who is sarcastic and possibly jaded in his outlook on life. He writes that the same fate comes to all of us, and that fate is death. Since the same fate comes to everyone, whether wicked or evil or good, then everyone should just enjoy life, enjoy relationships, enjoy food, enjoy the work that you set out to accomplish. He writes that the living have hope because they're alive. Really, the author seems to say, look, guys and gals, it just is, and there is a hope to be found in acknowledging that it just is. I find myself saying it just is quite often. I found this statement to be freeing and helpful for me. There is much that happens in the course of living our lives bound by time and mortal bodies in a fallen world that is way beyond our control. And for those of us who love to be in control, or at least maintain the illusion that we are in control, the many things and circumstances that are beyond our control can drive us absolutely crazy. I've learned that being able to acknowledge and say, it just is, helps to foster a sense of trust and hopefulness in my own life and in my faith walk. Proclaiming it just is isn't giving up or giving in. It's acknowledging that this is just the way things are at any given time. And it's a way of reminding ourselves and those around us that in all things God is working for the good of His creation. For example, for a long time, it really bothered me that I didn't hear regularly from my younger brother. We're very close in age, and as children, we were each other's built-in playmate and best friend. As adults, we are living and working and raising our families in different states, so we don't see each other very often, and we rarely talk on the phone or text each other beyond holidays or birthdays. I used to get so angry and so frustrated about this, but there was nothing I could do about it. I can't force my brother and his family to move, and I don't want to move. I can't force him to have more time to be able to call or text me more often. One day, as I was praying and sharing my frustration and my anger with God about my brother and I's relationship, He helped me to realize that it just is. It isn't a bad thing. My brother and I don't hate or despise one another. It's not necessarily a great thing that we don't connect very often, but it just is, and that's okay. And being able to recognize that it just is, I was able to let go of my frustration and my anger. I was able to trust that God is working in my brother and his family's lives, and God is working in my and my family's lives right where we are at. When my brother and I do get a chance to talk or text one another, I enjoy it a lot more now, because instead of thinking the entire time, why can't we do this more, and being frustrated or angry, I'm just able to enjoy the conversation we have. As I close out these thoughts on the word hope in Ecclesiastes, I want to mention the picture that accompanies this devotional in text. Let me see if I can get it before you here on the screen. Might be kind of hard to see, but it's a picture of a little corgi, a dog who's running carefree and looking happy. I wonder perhaps if dogs are so happy because as they live life, they live their life trusting and hoping in their creator and their master, their God, and approaching life just thinking all of the time, it just is. I smell this flower and it just is. I eat this food and it just is. I play with my toys, it just is. I take a nap, it just is. I get put in my crate and it just is. I pray that this week, as you continue to seek for hope in your life, that you'll find a greater sense of hopefulness in acknowledging that in many of life's situations, it just is, and we can trust in God in all of the just is circumstances. Grace and peace.